And Kamala Harris just has not been performing well when she's been doing interviews, and I think more and more Americans have seen that. We watched her drop in the polls as she started to do hard interviews, but the polls appear to have tightened. Where do we go from here? I suppose if Kamala Harris is elected, I suppose so much of the country would still be divided. What do the next steps look like? I know no one has a crystal ball, but what can you imagine plays out over the next few days and weeks?
Well, just to backtrack a little bit here, I just want everyone to remember Kamala Harris was never popular. The only reason she became popular is because Joe Biden was pushed out and the media decided to put her up on a pedestal because she was just not Donald Trump. But what we could expect is, we're really going to have to rely, if it goes our way with the Senate and the House, if it becomes more Republican, we're going to have to rely on Congress. And also, too, we forget the importance of local government. That's really where a lot of the change happens. And we have to make sure you vote in the correct people governing, the localities across the country. So there's hope. Never think there's not hope, but it would be hard if she became president.
You say that Kamala Harris was never popular. All of a sudden, she's become popular ever since Joe Biden got kicked out. What's your assessment of the media's role in all of this? And also celebrities. We've seen celebrities come out and all of a sudden they're Kamala Harris's best friend. What do you make of the media and also the celebrities that have been getting involved?
I think there's going to have to be a complete overturn of the media. If they haven't shown their true colors by now, I don't know what would show their true colors. The fact that Donald Trump was talking about Liz Cheney and that she won't go to the wars that she wants to send other people to, and they market it as Donald Trump has firing squad fantasies of Liz Cheney. I mean, it's just benign. The things that the stories that they turn out of Trump and how they cut up his words, but they'll turn a blind eye when Joe Biden calls half the country garbage and when Kamala gives her word salad soliloquies that no one understands what she's talking about. So I really think, and it would only really work if Donald Trump became president, that there's going to be a complete overhaul because nobody trusts the media at this point. And if Donald Trump becomes president, it's going to be proof that people are sick and tired of hearing from the media and all of their lies.
What's your assessment of this election campaign? How does it compare to previous years?
Ooh, man. I mean, 2020 is something that, just given the COVID pandemic and everyone not knowing what was going on, I don't think anything will ever compare to that. This year is really giving 2016 vibes. I think people are really looking and comparing the Biden administration and the Trump administration, and they're wondering, who was I better off under? And people remember 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and realize that they were much better off under Donald Trump, and they are appreciating who he is and what he did for this country, and maybe looking past his personality. I get it, it's not for everyone, but they're looking past the rhetoric and they're looking at the actions, and they're realizing that Donald Trump was better than a Biden-Harris administration.
Also, I just think it's really interesting the people that Donald Trump has around him. You've got Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. What impact do you think that has at this election?
Oh, it's huge. And this is the point I like to make to people a lot is that, the Democrats always try to claim to be the party of inclusivity, like they're loving and compassionate and welcoming to everyone. But in reality, they're very narrow-minded because if you don't think exactly the way they think, then you're pushed out. Yeah. And, they try to be the woman that champions women. But if you are a conservative woman, you're also pushed out. Donald Trump, he's never been crazy right conservative. Just look at the way he was raised. He was raised in New York City. He has always just been America first. And he's always been about widening the tent. He doesn't care if you're Democrat, Independent, Republican. If you just want to put our country first, and if you want to put common sense back on the table, you're welcome into the party. And that's why he's bringing in people like Elon, a Kennedy, Tulsi Gabbard, even Joe Rogan, who wanted to endorse Bernie Sanders. He was a Bernie Sanders guy. So was Elon Musk. So that's the message that Donald Trump is sending out. It's just common sense. And that's why so many Americans are latching on to it.
There's a concern that maybe Donald Trump has lost the female vote, that more women are backing Kamala Harris at this election. What are you hearing from female voters and ones that may be supporting Trump?
No, this just kills me because I think here in America, a lot of women who, especially, they've gone through college, have been brainwashed into thinking that the only rights they have is if they can have an abortion.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it makes them more left leaning. And yeah, I mean, it is hard with the female vote, but I will give Donald Trump this. I think there's a lot of Republicans out there, especially women, who are scared to say they support Trump because of all the backlash that comes with it and all the ostracizing that comes with it. And so I think the female vote for Trump, even though it might not be the majority, I think it's still undercounted and underplayed because they're just not speaking out as much. So I think it'll be very, very interesting to see how the female vote actually turns out tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Hilton Beckham, America First Policy Institute Director of Communications, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much.